Hello and welcome to the Super Metroid Any Percent Tournament round of 16 match winners bracket match between Feral and Scottymacbody. This is a pre-recorded match, but neither of the commentators have seen what happens, so we are as excited as all of you for this.
This will be a very good match. Two very good runners, both new route runners, meaning that they have a lot of experience with the game. We could see a couple of 43, 44s, a couple of low 40 times. Should be a pretty good race.
We are excited for it, and soon the race will be underway.
And speaking of exciting, if you guys haven't already, check out vi.gg and you can bet on the runners if you are of legal age and legal residence. Very nice partner we have going, and I would know you all would love to participate if you are legal age and legal residence. And yeah, definitely check them out. ! Bet in the chat.
And now one thing that
Feral has a nice head start. About 6 seconds, 5 seconds of a timer shouldn't make too much of a difference.
One thing that we will be watching for is whether either of these runners goes for new route or not. Feral's PB has been new route for a long time, and Scotty's current PB is a new route, so we're expecting two new routes, but it's possible that one of them will decide to go old route just because it's much safer.
Yeah, we could see a route deviation at the red tower. One runner could go up, runner could go down. Could see a route deviation there. And it appears we are all synced up. Just taking damage to Ridley. It's the fastest way to through series station.
So get your guesses in chat for what kind of series times we're going to see. We are going to guess that we're going to see 2:45s.
A good guess. 46 would be a stretch.
46 would be amazing in a race setting.
Yeah,
there
in a race.
Not many people who can consistently get 46.
Yeah.
And neither of them getting particularly good Steam RNG.
Yeah.
And Feral with a 45 and Scotty with a 4480.
Feral getting a 45, although it did look like he had a little bit of trouble with the steam there on the first room.
Yeah, the steam was
the first real room.
The steam was not kind to either of them, and Scotty missed the jump into the last room. So series is one of the places where all those little mistakes are highly, highly visible just because there's a timer.
Right, but you don't see many runners reset on series. It's kind of just something you go through the motions, get through series, and get to Planet Zebus, where the real portion of the run begins. For Feral, the timers are all synced and heading in.
Another small deviation is, are we going to see a parlor moonfall here? It looks like Feral is not using a moonfall and Scotty is. We don't think that Feral actually uses moonfall. No, Feral does use moonfall.
And this nice little moonwalk off the ledge. I'd say it's probably the biggest development in the last couple years, maybe year and a half.
It's definitely the biggest development. It saves about 7 seconds, just a clear 7 seconds. 4 seconds in that one run.
Yeah, that's a huge moonfall to execute well. You fall right through everything pretty much, right to the door.
It's beautiful.
Funny because prior to that development, people thought the moonwalk was just kind of like a meme, or you could use it, you don't have to. It's major significance to the moonwalk prior to that development.
Yeah, so when Moonfall actually became a thing, everybody had to switch Moonfall on. So runners like us who started after that just got to learn the entire run with Moonwalk enabled. But people who came from before that had to actually relearn a lot of the boss fights, mostly Ridley with Moonwalk on. And there's at least one runner in this tournament who just doesn't use moonwalk in any category with any category with Ridley.
Because I know the Ridley fight is it's very unique when you have the moonfall on or the moonwalk on, because you can't just like back away from him. You have to like moonwalk to the corners, pogoing and stuff, and
yeah, the big thing
like
is that you have to crouch to turn around, which is not terribly difficult if that you're learning the game just like that. But it's not easy to change your muscle memory for a boss after you've been playing hundreds of hours of a game.
And wow, despite very different climbs there, we are in almost perfect. Feral took a little bit of lead in Parlor. That's about it.
And they're both getting to BT with excellent bombs times. These are going to be low 5x's.
Yeah, like we said, very top quality runners.
Those were high 4x's. These bomb times are absolutely amazing.
Very, very, very good. Like we said, very good early game. You see, like the better quality runners, more consistent and fast early game. It kind of just becomes a thing where you expect to play really well at this level early on.
Scotty having a bit of problem with BT. With BT, you want to shoot the pea shooters in groups of 5, because BT missiles do 100 damage, and when BT has less than 100 health, BT's head will fall off. And that's a tiny little cutscene that you want to skip.
Yeah, Scotty unfortunately had to. It looked like he had to witness that.
Yep. Scotty
Feral though lost a little bit of that lead. He had a little trouble with the escape there. Escape from Terizo. Left side escape.
Yep, so Feral is killing these pirates to be at full health to set up for going up the red tower. Looks like both of them are going to be running new route. With new route specifically, you want to kill the pirates, save extra health for Phantoons so you don't die.
Yeah, you need all the help you can get, especially in a race setting. I don't think either of these runners would want to have low health going into Phantoon. It's just not worth it, and it's really not. It doesn't lose that much time to make sure you have full health.
And Feral setting up for the early super smock ball. Not something that either of these runners will have any problem with, as long as they take it safe.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I play the game casually, but that's one of my favorite tricks to do in the game right there. Just forget about the normal route to super missiles, the spore spawn. Just get super missiles, do a quick little mock ball, and you're all good.
Feral coming up from the Rio farm. That's a farm which is easier than it looks to mess up.
Soon both runners will be getting this missile pack here. Feral already in the fanfare. Scotty, it's really rare to see people skip that. It's usually only if they want to get a better first split. Those used to do that for a little while.
So people normally skip that missile if they have enough missiles already going into there, and they want to sit. Getting those missiles later saves about 2 seconds, because you don't have to jump over the wave missiles. So it's a very tiny optimization if you're going for a world record. We would not expect anybody not going for a world record or in a race setting to even attempt to skip those.
That would be a shocker.
And we're about to see 2 beautiful red tower climbs.
Yep, this is part of the new route. Feral missing a wall jump. Still able to get up there.
And this one is way hard. The timing in this is way tighter than it looks. They make it look easy, but the timing is actually really tight for having to jump up high after shooting.
Pretty good early. Sub 9 power bombs. That's kind of like what you like. Scottymacbody with a cup of tea. Very, very nice little advertisement, I guess, from his channel. Well, anyway, a 910 elevator for Feral. That's pretty good. I think it's only like 15 off world record. Got a bit of a difference here between the timers, about 25 seconds. Scotty not too far behind, though. It's actually a pretty tight race, as we expected.
So one of the things that Behemoth, the world record holder, has said is that a run is never a run, and you can't get attached to it until after Fantoon. And Fantoon, I will open after 1, 6,
RNG.
or 11 seconds, which makes it the single biggest point of RNG in the run.
Yeah, you can lose up to 20 seconds off best RNG. And for example, Behemoth, the world record holder, had a run today where he would have world record if he didn't get the worst RNG option.
So, Feral, first try CWJ. This is not
the
easy. This room is incredibly, incredibly difficult. Looks like Scotty's going for the backup bomb jump. This is not easy at all.
This is probably the hardest part of New Route, is getting through the moat.
And you saw Feral falling into the ocean. Getting over the ocean is also nowhere near as easy as it looks.
Will Scotty make this jump? I don't think he's set up for the CWJ. He's probably just oh, he did. Very nice.
There we go. Now they're both
I'd argue that the CWJ is easier than the bomb jump, but you just have to set it up.
Yeah, so we've never gotten the bomb jump to work for us. It's close to double frame perfect. In previous races, we've seen people discussing the exact mechanics of it. Whether it's you have 1 frame of leeway on one of the jumps or something, but it's close to double frame perfect.
I believe you have 2 frames to do the second, the wall jump, the second part, but the initial jump to set up the second jump is frame perfect.
And Feral not getting the fast. Scotty could make up all this time. Scotty gets a fast. Feral gets a slow.
The RNG in this fight can actually pretty much even this race back up.
Feral with it. Oh, Feral's gonna have to do a 3-round, we think. Feral didn't get enough in.
Yeah. Feral missed a couple of stutters there.
Air Dopplers are incredibly difficult. That is one of the new techs that has been added. Air Dopplers just to save some seconds. And every time we've seen Air Doppler, we just super impressive.
Using a super to finish off Fantoon after he knew that he would die. You want to be careful, because if you use a super missile on Fantoon and it doesn't kill, then Fantoon will get really mad and do a bunch of attacks on you, and you can't do anything about it other than dodge the attacks.
And it's about a 17-second time loss for an enrage.
You don't want to do that.
Which is not very fun.
Especially in a race setting where you know that, I mean, if you're not careful, you can die. I believe Oats and Goats actually died in a GDQ race to an enrage phase. Actually, I think he didn't die, but he died on the previous phase. He got hit by a flame, but he was like down to like no health after the enrage. So Fantoon before you consider this.
That's a bit surprising to us, because taking no damage from an enrage is really straightforward if you aren't trying to farm it as well.
I don't think he died. Yeah, I think he just took a little damage, but the time loss is the main reason you don't want to get an enrage. That's why you don't use supers prematurely, intentionally anyway. Sometimes, you know, mistakes happen. Both runners are out of Fantoon now.
And we have a request from the organizers to say again that this is a pre-recorded race to help fit the streaming, to help fit the schedule of everybody involved. And neither us nor Adam Ferrari have seen what the result of this race is. So we are as excited for all of you for this.
Speaking of exciting, our partner, vi.gg, you can bet on the races if you !bet in the chat. Very nice, cool partnership we got going here if you are of legal age and residence.
And Feral, while we were talking about that, Feral got a beautiful, beautiful farm strat on Bowling Path. We absolutely love that strat. Just successfully shooting missiles at everything and farming everything.
That is very nice. He's got a pretty good count for missiles. Supers is really nice, and his energy is not a problem at all. He's a good runner. He'll survive.
This is a 14-16 gravity pickup from Feral.
Not too shabby. Probably 43 pace, 44 pace.
And Bowling's cutscene is about 30 seconds long, so that means that Feral has about a 45-second lead, we'd say.
Yep, most of that was probably from the moat. Feral got through the moat pretty well, as quickly as you can get through the moat, and Scotty had some trouble.
But there's lots and lots of space to equalize. There's still a little bit of RNG
plenty
left in super missile drops.
There's also the lava spark right before lower Norfair. I assume Feral's going to try to do that. If not, he'll do a gravity jump, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so a gravity jump is the backup if you miss a lava spark. Do you think that either of these runners are going to kill Kraid before Ridley for the safety of having Varia equipped if you have to do the gravity jump?
Given that it's a race setting, that would make a lot of sense to have that safety backup, because lava spark is something that if you fail it in a run, you know, you don't, if it kills you, it kills you. You know, you do the backup and I do the fastest route, but at the same time in a race, it's really scary to go for that lower Norfair without Varia suit. So we probably will. They'll probably stick to their routes though. I'm not sure. Maybe probably will. I'm not sure about Scotty. I know Feral's really experienced too. I mean, he's going for a 42 right now. That's, I would say that's borderline top tier.
At the same time, we have seen in the previous Any% tournament a few months ago, we did see some of the people who have held the world record in the past going for additional safeties, just so that if there was a bigger skill gap, just so they could guarantee that they wouldn't die. They were picking up Kraid E-Tank, which is a 15-second safety. And Kraid First is about a 15-second safety as well.
Feral's going down.
7 to 15 seconds.
Norfair.
So yeah, we have
definitely.
Our answer.
There's definitely no reason not to be safe with new route. But Fair currently in Norfair, going for high jump boots. Scotty coming out of Stazer.
Scotty does have 2 extra supers. And an extra 2 power bombs.
Yep, may use a super here if he goes to Kraid early. Nope. Straight down.
So in a few rounds, Feral is going to be in Cathedral Entrance and is going to kill some Despigas and Stutter Step to pick up their drops, power bombs. But first, Ice. Meanwhile,
Getting
Scotty
up
picked
to
up his
ice,
high
but
jump.
Scotty's still quite not too far behind, but definitely something that can that can be made up within 1 or 2 rooms, depending on the significance of the rooms. Like Lava Spark, for example, the Ridley fight.
And because they're both running new route, both of them avoided all the safeties, and so now they're both at risk of dying for the entire rest of the run, or at least to the road to Lower Norfair, because they're both going.
This race was pre-recorded, but neither of us know if
Wat heb je nu weer gekocht, oom? Dit jaar ben je de ik heb het internet afgezocht voor die limited edition, oom. De ik heb met een beschermd gevoel betaald met PayPal, oom. De
your guess is good as ours. So
Feral with a beautiful bubble mountain. Feral saw that the CAC was about to shoot, so Feral actually delayed the second wall jump so that Feral wouldn't get hit down by the CAC.
That's just pure experience there. Smarts.
Pure experience and practicing over and over and over and over.
I would have wall jumped right into that guy and fell all the way down.
Scotty with
Scotty
a very
trying
nice...
to set up this mock ball.
Oh, Scotty trying to set up the ice escape.
Little trouble. He needs to get this before they decide to run away.
One of the weird things about mock ball is that your speed actually drops to 0 right as you start the mock ball as you're hitting the ground. Which means that for the ice escape mock ball, you cannot be mock balling through the door. You have to actually start your mock ball before the door.
That's why they need to freeze the enemies to set up the mock ball prior to entering the other room. Everything in Super Metroid has a purpose behind it, that's for sure. One of the most well speedrun game.
So finely calculated and well placed. So this super farm is where okay, so Feral is only going up to 6 supers and they're just going.
Not the highest count. Probably in a race setting, it would be good to have 7 or 8, but not going to use one for this door here to wave beam. And I'm assuming he's going to hop over this missile. Nope, he's going to pick it up for safety.
That is very smart. In a race setting, you do not want to be one turret snipe away from ending your race. We've seen a world record run get lost to a turret snipe at Mother Brain 1.
Yeah, Behemoth got sniped. I see you're talking about Behemoths, right?
Yes.
I remember that. That was very heartbreaking. But current world record holder, Behemoth did plow through the time that he was looking for, and he's still plowing through.
And this run overall is just amazing. There's so many little things. Scotty jumping through the door there to fix the door transition. And Scotty's ammo is just perfect, and Scotty can just go.
Yeah, Scotty can just go. He can use a super on the doors. He's got plenty of supers. So Feral coming up to one of the more scary rooms in the game. They do not have various suits. They're going to have to be really careful. They're going to do a short charge here and try to spark up to Lower Norfair.
And the Lava Spark is incredible. Oh, goes a little bit too
Feral
far.
has missed it. And
Lava Spark is
going to go for the gravity jump.
Lava Spark is incredibly tricky because you actually have to... Oh no! Feral's going to have to exit the room and get health.
66. Yeah, Feral's going to have to leave the room. This is a very Monka-esque situation. And this is the room that we were talking about the whole time. Pretty much determine a race. And it's probably one of the high-risk death rooms.
Yeah, that is the room where if Feral had killed Kraid first, then Feral would have had Varia. And would have just been able to make another try without having to farm.
Yeah, would have had at least one more try. Probably just one more. He probably wouldn't have went for another one, but...
And now Scotty's catching right up.
Yeah, if Scotty nails this spark first try, or the backup, even second try, Scotty will be in the lead.
So one of the tricky things about this is you actually have to charge your spark off the ledge. or you have to do a morph unmorph.
Yeah, Scotty did not get the charge. It's a very hard trick, so he's gonna go for the gravity jump, take off the suit, that he gets this wall jump, and he does.
And Scotty gets it.
Scotty with the huge lead now. It's still not over. Like I said, Ridley fight, Dragon fight, all the bosses. I mean, well, Kraid's pretty easy, but the other ones are very monk-ass.
And Scotty's even taking a save. That is smart.
Yes, it is. The worst room in the game can. There's a room coming up called the worst room in the game. If you fail like one part of it, you could die pretty easily.
Actually, there's a really interesting question there for safeties. Because a save takes 7 to 10 seconds. How worthwhile is it to go for a save versus just going for an extra E-tank? Or for killing Kraid before Lower Norfair?
Honestly, I think the Kraid E-tank is a better. Doing Kraid first, doing Kraid E-tank, I think that would be better than doing a save. Because if you save, you're basically banking on that you're gonna die and lose even more time to a death. Whereas you have the E-tank, you're basically saying, all right, I invested this time so that I won't have to die. Whereas a save is sort of like, I'm investing this time loss for something that would be even more time loss. So
that's kind of how we're feeling.
It's kind of, I feel like the extra E-tank is better.
So both of them beautifully through the worst room.
Confident.
Scotty's setting up for a beautiful amphitheater. Misses the first jump, but still, this is not an easy room at all. None of these rooms.
Really close race because save.
Every room in Lower Norfair is terrifying. Scotty goop sparks them. I'm gonna have to wait around for the key hunters to come back. Otherwise,
yeah,
or
these
just
guys do a lot of damage.
50 damage, and they each can absorb 6 supers worth of damage.
Yeah, they can kill in 2 or 3 hits. Scotty gonna take another save by the looks of it. Not a bad idea. I would have done the save probably before like coming back up, but they might have been. I don't think they were watching each other, but at the same time, you saw what happened to Feral almost dying there. If he would have died, then that would have been it right there, because Feral had not saved up to that point.
Yeah, on some level it makes sense for Scotty to safety save, because Feral is a significantly better player, and by safety saving, and it's entirely possible that it would be entirely reasonable for Scotty to say that the only way that he's going to win is if Feral dies, or makes some serious mistake, and that saving is the best way to capitalize on that.
Feral's still in the lead right now. He probably would have been in the lead by a few seconds even without the saves. But remember, Feral lost probably a minute almost to Lava Spark and having to recharge his health, and still in the lead. That's how good Feral is as a player. So Scotty probably just trying to make sure he doesn't die. Maybe put a little pressure on Feral to not die himself.
Feral with only 4 supers going into Ridley. Each super at Ridley is a 1.5 seconds of time save. So that's 4.5 seconds that Scotty is going to gain back on Feral. So Ridley, the way to manipulate Ridley's pogo, if Ridley is facing left while pogoing, then there's a safe spot. The way to get Ridley to change directions while pogoing is to get behind Ridley, and where Ridley is at the top of his pogo, you break out a spin, and that will cause Ridley to change Ridley's direction of pogo, and that is what we see every player doing. Ridley is the only boss in the game with a true AI, which means that you can manipulate it.
Sometimes the runners will shoot his tail too. Is that just something that helps with that manipulation, or
pressing shot is one way to break spin. Pressing shot is just to break spin. Yep. There's several buttons that'll do that. Every player has their own preference. What fourth place does is every time he breaks spin, he actually shoots a super, just for those little frame saves.
Oh, that's very clever, because you have to get rid of the supers eventually. I know a lot of runners, they'll keep the supers till the end to avoid Ridley's cycle phase, where he's very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Same time, it does make sense to utilize that input to do damage.
Feral feels
about a
Feral has to feel like he's behind.
4 exit.
Because Feral is not getting the Ridley tank.
Yeah, and he doesn't have good super count either. He only has 1 super missile.
But he does have 5 power bombs.
Some at Crate.
He might farm a pirate. Nope.
And Scotty doing the safe strats, safe combi strats, getting a quick little E-tank here.
So Feral is setting
go
up for
through the door transition twice and sit in here, which is probably like 15 seconds total.
So Feral just did, and Scotty is probably going to do, a beautiful clip through the ceiling. You just spin jump into it, and then you hit LRR at the right time, and then your head will be a little bit below the ceiling. And once you're in that state, all you have to do is just jump to get through there, and then that changes into a D boost. And then you do a speedball out of Wasteland. And that's just one of the most beautiful tricks in the game.
Yeah, doing that room on the way back fast with that set of strats is very impressive. And it looks very nice. It's very pleasing to watch.
Scotty's powerbomb might have been too low. No, that was really close. Feral in the most beautiful room in the game.
Using the speed booster.
Just...
Yeah, Feral barely getting through alive. 47 health, 1 more hit from those key hunters would have killed them and ended the race.
Yeah, that is one of the most beautiful rooms in the game, and it's supposed to be entirely. Our understanding is that it's entirely manipulatable, so you can do it very consistently if you know what you're doing.
Right. There is a lot of pressure though in that last room of the escape because of the damage that the pirates do. You'll often see a world record pace run like Dosed or Behemoth where they get to that room where they can't get hit at all with 47 health or something, and they have to basically dodge these guys without getting hit once. Very Monka-ass in the chat moment. Scotty affording to get hit twice there, and he's fine.
So Scotty making the right decision by picking up the Ridley tank. He'd be dead otherwise.
Speaking of the right decision, check out vi.gg. You can bet on the runners if you are of legal age and residence. Very cool sponsor and partner we have going.
So
Feral has about a minute here.
Feral is entering Kraid's lair. One of the reason why you kill Kraid after Ridley is that you have speed booster for Kraid, and the entirety of the time lost from killing Kraid earlier is just not having speed booster in Kraid's lair.
You'll see some runners do a D-boost off the dying spikes at the end, so they'll be able to collect power-ups really fast. With a nice quick kill on Kraid. It's really without hesitation, but it's a little tricky. You have to make sure you get enough damage in before Kraid enters his wicked tall phase.
We might see Feral picking up Kraid E-Tank because we aren't sure that either that or we're going to see a backup at Mount Everest. Because we aren't sure that Feral actually has enough health.
Yeah, you need at least 3 to survive Mother Brain.
Not Mother Brain, you don't want to get health bombed after bot mode. The Mount Everest spark takes about 70 health. So we could do the spark, but then he'd be in health 1-hit KO range for bot mode, which wouldn't be good. So we might actually see him pick up this E-Tank just because his health is so low.
Alright, he's gonna get another E-Tank too, right after Bot Twoon as well. Yep. I'm assuming that's the one he goes for. That's like one of the quickest ones.
And here we go. Feral picking up that E-Tank. A very practical decision. There is a beautiful backup for Mount Everest. but it's not something that most people know how to do. Oh, and Scotty getting stand-up. With Kraid, you normally kill a Kraid very quickly before he stands up. So
Got the stand-up glitch.
Yep, this phase has become known as the stand-up glitch in the community.
Because it's so rare that a runner misses the quick kill. The glitch. But if you're a casual player from the past and you're watching, this is like your first experience with speedruns, you're probably like, normally does. If you saw Feral's side, you noticed he killed Kraid really fast. Precise super missiles to overload his health and kill him before the second phase occurred.
So Feral setting up for bot wing hallway. And gonna set up bot wing X Factor. There's a variety of setups that people can do. Some people run back and forth, other people use the music. Behemoth does a jumpy thing to set up, just for the timing of this X Factor, for when you start the charge.
And 5 supers, missed 1, missed 2.
Missed 2.
He's gonna, that's not good, unless he can get him in a hole here. Okay. You definitely don't want that snake on the loose.
He gets 2 supers out of this, which is plenty. Is he gonna skip the bot wing E-tank now? Nope.
Nope. Well, he's gonna try to get up there. There's a
beautiful ball that you can get there. But if you miss it, you can just fall into the sand. Meanwhile, we're gonna see Scotty getting ready for his bot wing. And Feral is gonna set up this beautiful full happy.
So Feral's gonna try to do a spark and cross this entire room. Jumps, ledge grab, and
got him.
Presto. That's a top tier strat. Right? That is not easy.
At one point, this is considered to be task only, and then after not watching any Super Metroid for a long time, we watched GDQ, and suddenly, all of the runners were getting it, and it just blew our mind.
I remember when it was first being used in runs, and it used to be the biggest like PogChamp in the chat moment of the entire run. BWJ, which we saw in the moat earlier on. So Scotty in a lot of trouble here. He's missed a lot of his super missiles and missiles.
Feral did a rain dance.
Feral's doing some short charges here to try to spark.
Oh no!
Oh no! Chain damage! No! That's chain damage. That's a death.
That's a death. And Feral does not have a save.
That's it. Scottybody has won the match.
Yeah,
are you kidding? That is insane.
Seriously bad happening. So what happened there is when you kill Dragon with a spark, you get a blue suit, but in blue suit you don't get any iframes, so Dragon can do 40 damage per frame. And there's examples of people losing 6 E-tanks worth of health in less than a second.
And you only have 3. So that's, if you get chain damage at any percent, you're a goner. That's what makes, that's another, it's just so hard to get through a Super Metroid run without dying in a race. You have Lava Spark, you have, that's why I said Dragon, you get chain damage. It's really hard to not die there sometimes to get through a run. That is, I'm speechless. What do you got to say about that, Freya?
Places you can just die. And like in other games like Mario, deaths are very forgiving. You just go back to the level. There's an autosave after every level. Versus in Super Metroid, there's no autosaves on planet. You just go back to the start of the planet.
Yeah, and in Mario 64, like
Scotty Scotty does not have enough missiles to kill the last turn.
Yeah, Scotty's gonna have to do some dodging here, some dodgeball from the turrets. Gonna have to kill. This could be a monk ass for Scotty too. I know he has a save. He has a save, so it doesn't matter. So just, but
not a save right before Dragon.
But not right before Dragon. So Feral opting not to try again though, because he had no save. He'd have to basically make up 37 minutes. Scotty would only have to make up like probably like 10 or 15 since his Ridley save.
Raygon is just a place where you can just die in any run.
Yeah, this is why new runner, it's really hard to become a new runner because it's really scary. Like, look at that chain damage. He lost like 2 tanks.
Yeah, Scotty took at least 4 hits there.
Like when I played the game, if I try to like do the... Yeah, because he could have died. He had that extra E-tank.
Feral had the extra E-tank too. If Scotty had as much health as Feral did at the end of the fight, Scotty would have died too.
And Scotty failing the bomb jump, the last bomb jump, so it'll take him a while, but he'll get out of there. He's got his blue suit, so he'll be able to do the reverse full half to get back through the pre-Dragon room.
So Scotty isn't gravity jumping now. We wonder if Scotty was watching Feral's stream.
And I am a mechanical design engineer at ASML.
I assume so, because Scotty probably knows he just has to finish at this point.
Yeah, otherwise we would have expected to see Scotty gravity jump out of here.
Yeah, he's just trying to... I think this is like a confidence booster thing, just bomb jump and get out of there. Because that's the normal like strat that you would do while Dragon's dying. But yeah, the chain damage is a serious issue that can kill a lot of runs.
Oh no! Scotty just missed the reverse happy.
Scotty just needs to kind of cruise along here, just make sure that he can get through the rest of the game without...
So
now it's just a matter of putting up the best time he can for the audience.
We would expect Scotty to save again before Mother Brain.
There's no reason not to at this point. All he has to do is finish. But let's see what kind of time he can get for sure. Scotty, a good runner.
That was such an unfortunate run for Feral. Missing Lava
Yeah,
Spark,
Feral
missing
was on
the
pretty
back
good
up,
pace.
and then getting chain damage.
Before Lava Spark, Feral was probably on 43 pace, and then he lost a minute, so then he was on 44, 45 pace. And he got chain damaged after an otherwise beautiful Dragon fight. Just happened to get stuck inside of his, inside of his hurt box. And on every frame, when you have blue suit, like you said, it's just you can lose 60 tanks in a second. So easily enough to kill somebody in an any % run. And this is not Mario 64 or a Mario Odyssey. A death is rip. Unless even if you save, it's probably rip unless your opponent save and died as well. But yeah, Feral, very unfortunate that he happened to. He was on a pretty good pace.
Yeah, so we have seen runners where there's a significant skill gap, and the better runner just saves. Kip does that a lot. And it's very smart. It guarantees that Kip isn't going to end up in this position that Feral did.
Actually, Frey, I remember you saying that Scotty, all those saves, he probably knew that it would be really hard to beat Feral without dying. So he figured, he's got to bet on Feral dying in some way, which doesn't usually pay off, but in this case, it really paid off. He's getting into G4. Okay, what? Where's he going? Oh, he's going to farm for a little bit. Oh yeah, he needs more missiles. He didn't have enough missiles. He only had 4 missiles
to kill a
so the only way he could...
Metroid. That was a really good catch on his part. We would have just ran straight to Torian and facepalmed as we tried to shoot the first Metroid.
Yeah, that would have been a huge Monka ass because he would have had to use the power bombs, and he would have lost like all of his health on the first Metroid.
That was absolutely beautiful planning by Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty, he's played it safe, he's played it smart, and the smartness is what's getting him through this run. I didn't catch that. He went back through the room. I mean, everybody knows it takes 5 missiles to kill a Metroid, right? But when you're in the zone, it's sometimes hard to catch that kind of stuff.
It's even harder to catch it when you're watching it. That's just pure experience right there. The only way that you would ever think to do that is if you've ended up in that situation before. Or you've seen somebody end up in that situation.
I probably would have went right down 4 missiles, and I would have power bombs, and I probably would have died on that very first Metroid. And he is going to save before the Metroids, which is a very good idea in case drops don't go his way.
Yeah, that's Scotty absolutely watching Feral stream and just knowing that all he has to do is finish at this point.
Have to finish though. But should be no problem. He didn't get any supers from that, so again, in case he runs out of missiles, that's another reason he saved, you know. The RNG could be different. Like he should be good though.
So with this race, it shows how in Super Metroid there can be an upset anywhere, just because Super Metroid can kill you at any time. And it's incredibly punishing.
Yeah. Casual player going up against Zeus, Behemoth, or Oats, and if they die and you don't, well, that's it. That's an upset. You don't see that in Mario, or for example, Mario, because every time you die, you only lose like 20 to 30 seconds, maybe like a minute if it's like, you know, a crazy situation like on a Reds or something. But like, you don't lose. I mean, you don't lose the race for a death. And I don't know any other speedrun where that happens.
So here you saw Scotty entering this room twice, killing only 2 of them the first time. That's because if you kill all 3 of them, then there's nothing left to farm in Torian. And if Scotty had killed all 3 of them and then gone through the door, Scotty would have had to do a lot of running back and forth to the missile refill, just from not having enough supers.
Right, another good, very smart decision by Scotty to know what his count is there. And it's really hard in a run situation if you're going for a world record. You can't really afford to go back and refill, and you have to hope that you get good drops, you get all your missiles and all your supers going through that last door.
When you're going for a world record. Oh, baby skip. You jump around in orbit with the Metroid for a while, and then you jump through there and skip getting drained by the baby. And that's difficult to do, but definitely something that anybody in this tournament has done before.
Yeah, it basically skips you having to refill your energy. Scotty did not, unfortunately he failed it. It's a very hard trick.
It is a very hard trick, and one of the most stressful parts of the run for people who are getting, whose PBs are being pushed up.
It's definitely a run killer. It's one of those that, you know, if I'm in chat and people are going crazy because it's touring and it's world record, I'll say, don't go crazy until after baby skip and after Mother Brain 1, because you can also get sniped too.
Yeah, so when people are going for a world record, they have 15 missiles, 10 supers, which means that you cannot miss a single super or missile on Mother Brain 1. Whereas Scotty is in a position where he can miss 5 missiles or 1 super.
Yeah, Scotty got the extra missile tank. So at this point, Scotty just needs to take down Mother Brain too.
60 shots will do it. And
above 3 tanks as well.
Scotty shoots the missiles off. If Scotty had shot exactly 3 missiles, that would have been a half-second time save. Because 3 missiles do the same damage as charge shot and shoot half a second faster. So
interesting. We're the best way to kill Mother Brain in that 8%. Because you have, I mean, if you're going for a world record, you have no missiles at this point anyway.
Yep. So Scotty's health is a bit sketchy here, and after 46 shots, Mother Brain's catch-up beam is going to start, and that does 100 damage. And if Scotty dips below 300 health, Scotty's just dead.
Right, he'll have to do Turian again. That's why he saved. He should have technically, at this point, I would have saved in the room prior to Metroid, or prior to the Zebatites and Mother Brain.
We would have too.
Because he only can lose 4 more health. And if he loses 4 more health, he's going to have to do this all over again. Close.
Yes.
Ah,
wow.
There's the catch-up.
Mother Brain is being so aggressive here.
So imagine you're
Mother
on
Brain is going to shoot a red beam as soon as...
by any of these.
When there's a bomb out, Mother Brain will not fire. It will fire immediately after. And the visual cue is Mother Brain moving her hand. And that's all you have to work on here. Mother Brain has to be at the back of the room. There cannot be a bomb out. And then Mother Brain has to be below 25% health. And Scotty has successfully done it.
And he's done it. Because it doesn't matter. As long as you have over 3, Mother Brain's gonna do this attack. You can see it was a little close. He only had 4 health left. But Brain's gonna set up and it's gonna get a little cinematic. I won't spoil it if you have never seen it before.
And this is one of the saddest scenes in video game history.
It's very, it's historic. It's something that if you were a fan of the first 2 games coming into Super Metroid and you saw this happen, I mean, it blew your mind. It would have blown my. And they're playing and there's an ad during this beautiful cutscene. Oh man!
I think we'll go directly back to the cutscene.
Feast your eyes, gentlemen. Wow.
Oh yeah, that's true. Voor de gamers, gratis. But anyway, yeah, that cutscene. Basically, the Metroid. I mean, Metroids you think are evil, right? But the baby Metroid, after attacking Samus, skip, basically realizes that Samus is good. Samus is the one that saved her in the previous game, Metroid 2. So, it's to save Samus right before Mother Brain would have killed her. And the stream has been duplicated.
So now we can see 2 copies of the baby die, so it can be twice as sad. So all Scotty has to do is kill Mother Brain 3, finish the escape. And the escape poses no problem to any of the...
It's free, it's free at this point.
Any runners.
Yeah, this fight here is free, and then the escape, they give you so much time that... I mean... There's no reason you should fail it. Even if you do the slowest possible route.
This fight isn't
I'm sure
quite as free as you'd like to think. If you aren't shooting Mother Brain, then she's shooting quite a bit at you, and it is possible to get too close or to mess it up in some way that you do take a ton of damage.
Oh, that's true. You definitely, it's just definitely something you don't see runners fail. Especially, yeah, speedrunners. Casual players, I mean, it might have happened in the history of Super Metroid, but Scotty just has to,
So we lost our first sub 50 pace to Mother Brain 3, so it does happen. It definitely does happen. And Scotty's on pace for about a 51:30. Taking the escape very safely.
Yeah, not too shabby. He played it really the situation with Feral, but it paid off for him.
Scotty made the right calls all the way through.
Set, but
Scotty knew what we... Scotty played to win, and he won. Because he played to win.
A nice little behemoth spark there. He did the behemoth spark on the way out. A little diagonal spark up the climb into Parlor, and let's see if he saves the animals. I assume he will. What a jerk. He killed the animals. And he killed the animals.
Scotty has finished in first place with a time of 51 minutes and 33 seconds. GG.
GG to both runners, and huge shoutouts to Feral, a great runner. It's not easy to do this route without dying and without saving. It's probably one of the hardest speedruns to do in the world.
And Feral just went for it, so huge props to Feral for going for all the riskiest strats to save a little bit of time.
Feral was very impressive, and definitely shoutouts to both runners. Definitely follow both runners. Feral on a quest for 42. the end of Planet Zebes, and the ship's about to crash into the screen.
So thank you everybody for watching. We hope that all of you enjoyed these matches as much as we did. And we will see you next mission.
And once again, Vi.gg, our partner/sponsor, feel free to bet on the runners, !bet, legal age and residence. Feel free to check them out. Very, very nice partner we have going. You all enjoyed the race. And this was pre-recorded, so I doubt we'll be doing any interviews. I think they're both sleeping right now, both runners.
Feral is in the UK, so it's almost definitely asleep.
Yeah, Scotty confirming that Feral was asleep. Scotty probably is as well now. But that's Super Metroid any percent in a nutshell. Sometimes you just die.
Even the best runners die, and...
Oh yeah. Especially in low percent. You should see low percent ice.
And often the best runners often die more than the rest of people because they're not taking as many safeties and they're just going for it.
Oh yeah, you can't afford. I mean, Scotty could afford it because his strategy was to just make sure that he completed and within a relative decent time, because he knew. I assume that he knew that Feral was be risky and just kind of bank on Feral dying, because Feral is a really good runner. But going for a 42 is it's top tier. I mean, it'd be like me having to face Cheese in a Super Mario 64 run, Super Mario 64 race. Except in Super Mario 64, there's no death. The only thing I could hope for is that he game overs, but that's like several deaths.
And speaking of Super Mario 64, next up is a Mario 64 Triple Bingo. So, Thank you everybody for watching, and we hope to see all of you with Mario 64 Triple Bingo.